Welcome back, the ancient whispers. Take a slow breath. Let your shoulders drop and allow your mind to drift back gently to a world so old that even myths barely remember it. Tonight we travel deeper than before. Not to Zeus, not to the Olympians, and not to the fiery battles that shaped the heavens. Instead, we return to the world before all that, to the long, quiet era of the Titans, an age where time had no hurry, and the earth was still discovering how to breathe. Let the night settle softly around you, because this is a story told in the slow rhythm of ancient time. In the beginning of this era, Kronos sat upon a throne not made of gold or jewels, but of smooth stone shaped by the hands of the earth. He ruled because time itself chose him, and time chose softly, not with thunder, but with a gentle certainty of sunrise. The world around him moved at a patient pace. Mountains rose, but took centuries to finish their climb. Oceans stretched and grew, their waves lapping softly like a giant creature asleep. There was no rush, no urgency, no conflict. Just the quiet unfolding of a universe learning how to exist. The first forests appeared like whispers of green across the land. Trees were enormous, their trunks wide and ancient, their leaves shimmering like soft metal under the sun. Moss covered the ground like a natural blanket, warm and thick, perfect for creatures yet to be born. Above all of this, the sky stretched endlessly, a soft blue canvas painted every morning by Hyperion. He did not roar like the later gods would. He simply lifted the sun in his hands as though raising a small, glowing child. Its warmth didn't burn. It soothed. And when evening arrived, Rhea guided the fading light over the horizon, letting it dissolve into long strokes of rose and gold. The nights were equally gentle. Phoebe's moon hung low and comforting, a pale lantern carried in her slow walk through the heavens. Stars blinked awake one by one, not in sharp glitter, but in soft pulses, as though each star took a tiny breath before glowing. In this still world, the Titans lived not as rulers, but as caretakers of nature's earliest days. Oceanus circled the entire world, his body made of quiet waters. He was not a raging sea god, he was calm, endless, and protective. The very first boundary of the earth. When he moved, it sounded like a deep, soothing heartbeat, a rhythm the younger rivers followed, echoing his slow, steady pulse. Tethys, gentle and nurturing, walked beside these rivers and breathed life into them. Everywhere she stepped, new waterways formed, streams that curved like silver ribbons, lakes that reflected the sky so clearly, it felt like a second world. Sometimes she knelt beside a spring, cupping its water in her hands, watching it sparkle. It was said she could see the future of each river, where it would flow, what lands it would nourish, and what creatures would someday drink from it. Days stretched endlessly, nothing was hurried. Kronos, the Titan of the North and wisdom, spent his time in quiet meditation. His presence felt like a cool wind drifting through forests, creatures, tiny early forms of life, often gathered near him as though drawn to his peaceful stillness. Kronos, the titan of the constellation, stood silently in the highlands, his eyes always fixed on the stars. He was mapping the early sky, drawing invisible lines between stars that one day humans would call constellations. But for now, his work was silent and lonely, just the slow tracing of patterns that would define the future of navigation and storytelling. Mnemosyne memory itself moved through the world like a calm river. She didn't speak much, she didn't need to, the earth remembered for her. The curve of trees, the shape of mountains, the whisper of early winds. She watched time unfold, knowing that everything happening now would become the roots of stories that would last forever. And then there was Rhea, soft-footed, bright-eyed, the motherly spirit of nature. Where she walked, flowers blossomed without effort, grass rose instantly behind her steps, fresh and vibrant, as though nature itself wanted to greet her. Animals were not yet afraid of titans, small creatures, nothing like today's animals, wandered freely around her. They would curl beside her feet as she sat near the riverbanks in the evenings. The world felt like an endless summer afternoon. Nothing dark had touched it yet, nothing tragic. It was innocence written across the earth. But in the very heart of this peace, in the quiet mind of Kronos, a seed of worry began to grow. He had been warned once, during the moment he seized power from his father Uranus, that one day his own children would rise against him. A prophecy, a simple, unavoidable prophecy. Kronos tried to forget it. He told himself that this world needed no change. He told himself that he could hold time still forever. But the earth, Gaia, knew better. She had felt the early universe, the storms, the births, the roaring chaos. And she understood something the Titans were trying not to see. Stillness is beautiful, but the world cannot stay still forever. So she whispered again, this time more clearly, sending her voice through deep roots and into the shifting layers of the earth. Kronos, she whispered, time must move forward, a new age must come. Kronos felt the message like a tremor through his bones. He sat alone on a cliff overlooking the world, plains stretching endlessly, rivers winding softly, early stars twinkling above. For the first time in centuries, he felt fear. But the world around him did not know it continued breathing peacefully. Oceanus waters kissed the shores, Tethys carried new rivers to life. Hyperion's light warmed the land like a soft blanket. Rhea hummed lullabies to the forests. And humans, they did not exist yet, not even as a thought. This was a world built entirely on nature, quiet rhythms, and timeless tranquility. One evening, as the air grew cool and fireflies drifted lazily above the grasslands, the Titans gathered once more near the edge of the world. They sat in a wide circle, the ocean behind them stretching like a vast mirror. The moon hung full and silver, the night smelled of damp earth and new leaves. Kronos watched his siblings as they spoke softly about rivers, stars, and the slow shaping of mountains. He felt a pang in his chest, a strange, heavy emotion that the Titans did not often feel. He felt the weight of tomorrow. For centuries he had ruled peacefully. He had let nature grow and time move gently. But Gaia's whispers grew louder each day, and deep within him, he knew the peaceful age of the Titans was not eternal. A new generation was coming, one filled with passion and fire, one that would challenge everything the Titans had created. Yet for now, the world continued its dreamlike existence. Rhea laughed as a small creature, a tiny early deer, nuzzled her hand. Thea traced the soft glow of starlight across the waves. Phoebe placed the moonlight carefully on the water's surface, like setting a lantern afloat. Kronos listened. He breathed. He tried to memorize the Sanskrit, the lapping waves, the rustle of leaves, the soft murmurs of his siblings. Because he knew these moments would not last. But that knowledge, that fear, that prophecy is for another story. Tonight, we honor the era before all of that. A time when the world lived in softness, when Titans walked gently, and when time itself felt like a long, warm breath. This was the forgotten age, the age of quiet creation, slow growth, and peaceful beginnings. And as you drift into sleep, let the calmness of this ancient world stay with you. Let Hyperion's soft sunlight warm you, Oceanus' steady waves cradle you, and the gentle rhythm of the early earth carry you into rest. Thank you for listening. This is Ancient Whispers. May your dreams wander gently through worlds older than memory.